I've sent over 1 million cold emails over the past 2 years, making my clients over $600,000 in revenue. I've worked with many different types of businesses and across multiple different industries, writing and creating all kinds of different cold email scripts for them. And in this video, I'm going to compile everything that I've learned and teach you how you can do the same so that you can make more money with cold email in just 5 simple steps. And make sure you stick around till the end, because the last step that I'm going to give you, step number 5, will be really valuable as it'll help you stay consistent with cold email all year round. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first step, or the first thing that I'm going to talk about, is the infrastructure. So where a lot of people go wrong with this is when it comes to cold email infrastructure, most people only use 1 or 2 different tools for their entire infrastructure. In my opinion, this is not going to get you anywhere. So for example, instead of just using Apollo, you can also use ListKit. You can also use Ocean. You can also use Clay for your databases. Instead of just using Google for your sending provider, you can also use Outlook. You can also use the private SMTP. And obviously, you don't want to get every single cold email software out there. But what I'm trying to get at here is that every single database, every single tool has its advantages and has its disadvantages. So what you need to do is figure out, okay, instead of just using 1 to 2 different tools, how about I get 10 to 20 and compile them all and find out which ones I like the best and which ones work for my industries and offer the best, and get rid of the ones that I don't. So try out different softwares and try out different stuff when it comes to your infrastructure so that you can get all of the advantages that all of these different softwares have, and figure out what you like the most and what you don't like, so you can compile it down a little bit to about maybe 10 of your favorite softwares. So that's the thing with infrastructure. Make sure you try out all the different tools that are out there, figure out which ones work best for your offer and your essentially target market, and get rid of the ones that don't. So try out different stuff with the infrastructure. So step number 2, or the second key step or point, is that your offer, right? So you have to understand that your offer is king. Ultimately, you have to be selling something that someone actually wants. No one wants your software that has, all the best features and good customer support and all of that, blah, blah, blah. No. When you're sending out cold emails, it's all about what can you do for them. Will your software help them save more time, make them more money, save them money? Because ultimately, that's the biggest thing. What can your service or product do for them? Because you're a stranger coming into their inbox, so it's all about, hey, what can you do to me? You're coming into my house, you're coming into my inbox, talking about yourself. No, I'm not interested. But if you can talk about, hey, here's what I can do for you. I know I'm a stranger, but here's what I can do for you. Here's what our software can do for you. Or here's what our services can do for you. They'll be more likely to respond because, okay, I'm interested. People like when you talk to people like when you talk about their best interest, right? If you've read How to Win Friends and Influence People, this is a staple that Dale Carnegie goes over. So ultimately, that's the mindset to have when thinking about offers. It is, what can I do for them? What can I provide them? What can our software provide them? What can my services provide them so that they're enticed to book a call with me, right? Offer is king. Always, always, always. Offer is king. You have to be selling something that somebody wants. So this is really one of the most important steps. It's not the most important step. Now, third are scripts. This is the third point, scripts. Nowadays, as you know, everybody has a TikTok or Instagram Reel brain, so everyone's attention span is very, very short. I believe the average adult's attention span in the US is about 8 seconds, right? So that is very, very short. So you have to be able to write your scripts in a very short and concise way so that it captures them and you're able to read it in under 8 seconds, or else they'll just throw your email in the junk folder. Nobody wants to read a huge wall of text that you've written up and where you're talking about all about them, right? Nobody wants to read all of that. No one cares to read all of that because you're a stranger. Why should they read that? You're literally a stranger sending them a wall of text. It's like a freaking dictionary. So keep your emails short. Keep it under 75 words. If it's even shorter, it's better, right? So keep it short and make sure that you write your emails in a very simple way. because again, the average American, the average reading level of an American is about a 7th grade reading level. And that goes across all different industries, even if you're targeting doctors, even if you're targeting lawyers, or anybody else that you might think is very smart or high IQ. Even if you're targeting them, make sure you write at a simple level, because again, if you're a stranger coming into my inbox or into my house, would you want to read a entire, even if you're very smart, would you want to read an entire college level MLA format essay? Or would you want to read something that your middle school brother wrote in the last year, let's say? You'd obviously want to read the second option, right? Because it's a lot simpler to read, and it's a lot simpler to digest and comprehend. So that's pretty much it for scripts. It's not too complicated. Just keep it short, keep it simple, and you should be fine. If they're simple and they're easy to read and digest, you will get your message across a lot quicker and a lot better, and more people will reply to your emails. That's the third point. Now, fourth is the targeting, right? And this is, again, another very important point. All these points are important, but again, I'm just emphasizing that everything in union creates a very, very valuable cold email. The fourth is targeting. So imagine that you're like a HR person of a retail company, and you have a pain point that a lot of the cashiers that you hire at your retail company or your retail store, they end up leaving in like 4 weeks. So that's your pain point. You're an HR person at a retail company, and everybody that you hire, they just end up leaving in like 4 weeks. So let's say that you get 2 emails in your inbox. One just says, "Hey, I saw you work at Walmart. Would you want to help? Do you want help with hiring?" And then the second email says, "Hey, as the HR director at Walmart, I'm sure you're always struggling to keep cashiers around over in the long run. Our software can help you keep these cashiers by implementing workforce training that retains them." Which offer, or which script, or which email do you think will be more relevant to them? It's obviously the second one, right? Because the second one has better targeting, and that makes the offer and message a lot more relevant to the person that is being reached out to. So you have to make sure that your targeting is on point, and the way you can do this is by being as specific as possible when building out a lead list of cold emails. So what I mean is, you can go off of what industry they're in, what job titles they hold, how many employees they have at their company, what technology they use, that type of thing. And you can use all of that stuff in Union to write to one specific type of persona at a company. So think about it. It's a lot easier to write a cold email to a friend versus 100 people, right? Why? Because you already know what that friend wants. You already know how they are, and you're writing to one specific persona. With automated cold emails, again, you're not going to be writing to one person, or maybe even 10 people, but you'll probably be writing to a few hundred, a couple thousand people, and that does make it hard. But if you can niche it down and filter it down by job title, by employee headcount, by industry, by what tech they use, you'll be able to write to one specific type of persona that has a very specific pain point. So for example, if you're writing a email to a HR director of retail companies, you know that they probably do struggle with retaining roles like cashier. So you can write that in the email. Versus if you're writing a email to HR personnel across all industries, it'll be harder because every unique industry has all these unique pain points. Maybe government agencies has a different pain point. Maybe retail has a different pain point. Maybe financial institutions have different pain points. So it's a lot harder to write to HR personnel all across all industries because every single industry has different pain point. But if you can filter it down by a specific industry, like HR director of retail companies, you can research and find out that, hey, here's the pain points that they have, and you can literally leverage that in the email itself. So that is the fourth point, which is targeting. Now, fifth, which is the last thing, and this is, like I said, really one of the most valuable things that you can learn, is that you have to be able to adapt. So cold email is very, very fast paced. There's all these different tools and technologies coming out, AI, all this different stuff coming out, that what used to work 6 months ago or even 4 to 5, 3 months ago doesn't necessarily work now. You have to be able to adapt and always stay on top of things whenever you're doing cold outreach, because there's all these industry trends that come about. There's all these different things and different tools that come about, different updates from Microsoft, different updates from Google that cause cold emails to mess up or maybe not mess up, or a different strategy. There's just so much stuff that goes on in this industry or in this sending platform that you just have to be able to adapt to different things that coming out. So for example, right now, Outlook is having a moment. A lot of people who are sending to Outlook accounts or sending from Outlook accounts, they're not really delivering in the inbox itself. So a lot of people have switched to Google and are sending from Google. So that's one of the things where, again, you have to be able to adapt, because a lot of there's just a lot of stuff that goes on in this industry where what used to work 6 months ago, 5 months ago, doesn't necessarily work now because of all the different updates. So make sure that you're always staying ahead of trends to succeed year round. And if you want an easy way to do that, subscribe to my channel, because I update you guys with a lot of cold email stuff, like news or new tactics or new ideas to try out, because that will help you keep you ahead of the curve, so that you're always staying on top of things and you're always on the trends before it dies out. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are any type of B2B business that's making over $30,000 a month and you want somebody to do cold email for you, all done for you, click the link below and we'll book your next 3 calls or your next 3 demos absolutely for free. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found something valuable. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.